Yeah, but I mean, apart from them doing your job and educating people, about what to look out for and all of that, I mean, they are just they're a good crack as, as well. It has to be
Yeah.
said.
It's
Yeah.
nice to get one over on a scammer. They always seem to get it their own way. You get incessant calls, and just having the ability to get one back at these people is nice. I mean, for example, sometimes you'll get this robotic call, and everybody's heard it before. This is Amazon. Amazon never call you, and you've just placed an order. Press one to speak to someone, and you just know rightly that it's a scam. But I have the ability to go in and change the way that the scammers operate. So I've actually changed the robocall messages. So instead of that message which says this is Amazon, it actually says this is a scammer from India. If you want to waste their time, you can press 1. But please don't tell them I've changed their message. So I've actually used that as a message on their calling systems. And I could watch as they were getting hundreds and hundreds of these phone calls, and nobody was falling for the scam. And it was kind of nice to be able to even just step back and have a bit of laugh about how they had to up the call rates, and that cost them more money. And all the time they hadn't a clue that it was their own message which had been changed. So doing little things like that, although you might call that petty and childish, I think a lot of people do get a kick out of that sort of activity.
You also put up a scammer's wedding photos on your own computer. So when they went in to scam you, they found pictures of themselves.
Yes. And sometimes you have to resort to tactics like that, because I have reported scams to the police, primarily in India. About 90-95% of certainly the phone calls that you get will come from India. And yes, I've been able to access the scammer's computer. They always at some point try to scam me, but I've managed to reverse the scam. I've got onto the scammer's computer, and there would be sitting maybe pictures of this guy's wedding. And I can then call them back again at a later point and have my computer all set up with this guy's photographs sitting on my computer. So when he goes back to me, I let him onto the computer, and suddenly he can see his own face there. Now, obviously, you have to blur out the other people in the photograph because they may be innocent bystanders, but that is an incredibly effective way to stop people from scamming, because sometimes the police in India, sadly, don't really do their job. And the most effective way that I found to actually expose scammers and stop them, or at least move them on a little bit, is to say, I know who you are, I know where you are. It sounds a little bit like a movie at this point, but that is a very effective way of stopping them if the police don't do their job. I do try to go to the police, but the next best thing is to say, police haven't done anything about it. Maybe they're too small scale or whatever it is. At least I can maybe frighten some of the people into stopping their activity. And some of them do genuinely sound quite frightened at the end of that. I would. If somebody had my photograph sitting on a computer as I'm trying to scam them, I might have second thoughts. So yes, it's in some ways it's slightly childish, and unfortunately I have to resort to that sort of tactic sometimes to get that message back. And I do genuinely think I've stopped some scammers as a result of doing something like that.